So what's the weather like where you live? Because I live in the Pacific Northwest and the weather is always pretty crappy. And I feel like we only got like 2 weeks of summer. I think like literally 14 days in totality of summer. And that was not great for me. But I am really enjoying the cooler mornings and the overcast whatever right now because we get to make all of the cool warm drinks and we have hot cocos and lattes and all of the fun things. And today we are continuing on with our boozy themed, not containing booze soaps by making a really cool peppermint schnapps inspired soap thing. And before I tell you all about what that is, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things and sometimes the confusing things. We are continuing our boozy-themed, non-boozy containing soaps today with a cool peppermint schnapps inspired soap that is all the awesome. And it's a peppermint patty, so that's fun. I don't know if you've ever drank peppermint patty. I haven't, but it sounds delightful. Something that tastes like a peppermint patty, like a York. Yes, I'm totally here for that, but I don't do fancy drinks. And so it sounds amazing. And so, you know, chocolate, peppermint, what's not to love? So that's what we will be working on today. And by we, I mean Georgia May. I am not doing any of these soaps. I was in the weeds with all the Taylor Swift soaps. And so she actually stepped up and created the next series because I was falling behind and we were definitely sweating the whole, are we going to like not be able to put out a video? And of course not. No, we're good. We got it. That's why I have a Georgia May, because she's awesome at all the things. So let's go watch her be awesome at this peppermint schnapps inspired soap, you know, right now. So you might hear some snarfling in the background for this video, and it's not the new puppy, it's the old puppy. It's the 1-year-old. She's feeling very needy right now, which is normal. You know, that's fine. I get it. New puppy, new things. We still love her. Penny's the best. But anyway, I just, you know, those things, those toothbrush dog treat things. I just gave her one, and I'm watching her like destroy it on top of my white robe. So that's a thing. That's fun. In all fairness, though, I probably shouldn't have had my white robe on the floor in the first place. So, you know, I kind of had that coming. Anyway, the soap that we're doing today, right? It's a cool soap. We're doing a peppermint patty. Now, peppermint patties are not strictly, they're not a hot drink. I don't think. I've actually never had one, but they sound delightful, right? Because there's like, I think vanilla vodka and like creme de menthe and peppermint schnapps. I don't actually really know what's in it, but just the idea of something that tastes like chocolate and peppermint, like a peppermint patty, like a York, that sounds awesome. And so that's what we're doing. That's what's being made. Now, no alcohol is going into any of these soaps, right? So it's one of the most confusing things that we've ever done, really. But like I said a couple days ago, we have been doing a lot of alcohol soaps, right? Like almost the entire Taylor Swift line, and then the Rat Pack line, and then our existing wine and beer soaps. And so we're making things that are very fall and winter-esque for, you know, cool drinks that you tend to drink in this time without booze. And that's great because, you know, alcohol, the sugars in alcohol, they do really cool things to the skin and to the soap, and, you know, really awesome lather and like very effervescent bubbles, and it's great. Love adding alcohols to soaps. It's also not necessary. So with this, we have a delightful oil blend that, you know, still creates a really awesome, beautiful lather. Big bubbles with the big bubble blend, really. And, you know, you have the awesome peppermint chocolate scent, which is realistically what this is. It's heavy on the peppermint, light on the vanilla. And that's really the whole thing. Is going to be a dark chocolate peppermint blend, more peppermint than anything else. So it's nice and icy and cold, which I love. I love peppermints and soaps. I love peppermint in literally everything. But yeah, soap, it's delightful. I don't know why I don't do more of it when it's not the fall and winter months. I really should, because I like peppermint year round. But during this time of the year, I always do a peppermint lip balm for the holiday like gift boxes and everything, because I like the tingle on the lips. And I have a number of clients that do my face pastes, my activated charcoal face washes, and they change their essential oil blend out to include some sort of peppermint, just a little bit, because their customers say they like the burny. And so that's cool. We do that thing. Peppermint's fun, and it's fun in soap. And one of the awesome things about peppermint and soap is that it does not discolor at all. Oh, it's time to get a new stick there. But yeah, we're gonna keep using the half. I'd love that. We use everything until it just, you know, screams and throws its hand at the white flag up. Like, that's just what we do. We're very much like, that was one of the points when I started the soap business, right? It was this idea of, you know, minimizing waste and minimizing the need for, you know, factories and all of the things, and make everything by hand. Handmade is cool and all that jazz. And so yeah, I mean, that's true of everything else that we do. We don't like putting a lot of excess waste into the world. That's why sometimes when you watch my videos, and actually sometimes I don't even notice it because it's been because I'm just so used to it or whatever, but I will be watching a video right before I, you know, put it up on YouTube, and I'll be like, wow, that liner is really, it's really seen better days. And, you know, we don't really think of it because, you know, again, this is filming a day in the life in the soap shop. Ask a piece of a day in the life in the soap shop. Like, obviously, if this were the only thing that we had to make in a day, that would be weird, really, and kind of boring, but also kind of nice, and to have a slow, you know, whatever. But anyway, we don't think about it because this is just business as usual. But I wonder, do people notice that my liner's dirty? But that's the whole thing. Like, when I line my molds with the freezer paper, the butcher paper, or whatever, we continue using those things until they are, you know, ripped, and you just can't pour soap into them anymore, because I don't feel right relining my soap molds after every single, you know, soap, because that's just, it's incredibly wasteful. And so that's just me. You know, other people do things differently, and that's awesome. So again, you get to see a whole big, you know, you get to see everything. We pull back the curtain and do all the stuff, and so we don't put on airs for you. Every time I've tried to put on airs for you, I actually point it out when I'm doing the video, like, oh, I'm just trying to be fancy there. Look at me. We don't really. We're not those kind of soapers. And Georgia May is doing, I don't even know what with this. And the cool thing about Georgia May doing all the booze soaps is that she has literally never drank any of these things. This is not something that she is remotely into or has any knowledge of. So it's actually fun watching her, you know, figure it out. Like, well, what should a peppermint patty, peppermint schnapps-esque soap look like? And she's doing the thing. And so it's delightful. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, but let's go check out the pour. And on to the pour. See, that mold was used for another soap that we needed to put marks on, really, so we could get things straight. And so it's reused. That liner's reused, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing transfers. People get really weird about, you know, things like that, and asking how you like clean your glass Pyrexes between soaps so the scent doesn't transfer from batch to batch. And I'm like, what? Just, you know, soap, hot water, clean it out, you're good to go. It's fine. It'll all be fine, and it's always fine. I get the feeling that people who make soap or people who are starting to make soap, they really spend a lot of time focusing on the stuff that really kind of doesn't matter, and not enough time focusing on the stuff that super does, right? Like the chemistry and the formulations behind your soap recipes, knowing why your soap did the thing that it did is ultimately the best way that you can become a really good soaper, right? You actually pay attention to that. And you know, things like, obviously, you know, worrying about, you know, cross-contamination and everything, that's obviously a concern. We think about that. That's why, you know, you don't use your lotion containers, the things that you use to mix up your lotions or your face oils or anything, for any sort of soap process. Yes, I can get behind that completely. Is that still a little bit overkill? Sure. But am I going to risk it? No, I'm not. But like things like, you know, sterilizing your containers, your glass Pyrex, between, just so scent doesn't transfer, the most powerful scent is going to win out. And you know, back to the conversation that we've had about essential oils and what survives the saponification process is, you know, again, that's another thing. It's just, it's all a thing. That said, you know, I mean, if you are a multi-soaper, right? So you do a whole bunch of different things and you don't really have like a niche market. Like you don't just do vegan soaps, you also do goat's milk soaps, or you don't stay away from nut oils and blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, pay more attention to that, I guess, for those purposes. If I were doing like an animal fat soap, I would probably have my own animal fat soap, you know, buckets that I use. And that's just, okay, we're bringing the lard out, let's use these buckets. But I don't do any of that. I don't, you know, everything is, and I stay away from nut oils because I want my soaps to be accessible to everybody, really. And so, which is a shame, because macadamia nut oil, if you get an opportunity to use macadamia nut oil in your soap and you're not, you know, worried about nut allergies, you should do it, because macadamia nut oil is magical. And on to the cut. I love how I just got all super, you know, whatever about macadamia nut oil and cleaning and transferring in general. I mean, whatever. It's, you're not, yeah, whatever. But no, seriously though, macadamia nut oil is really good. Like, I love the soaps that I make with macadamia nut oil. I only ever make them for the house though, because again, I stay away from the top allergen things and just try to keep them out of my line completely. Just so, you know, when the soap apprentices are running the shop or doing whatever, they feel confident in knowing, because we have a lot of different products, right? But they feel confident in knowing that if they've recommended a bar to someone, that it's not going to have something that is a potential irritant. And granted, everything is a potential irritant to someone, but that's a cute bar soap. I like that. But it's not a, but you know, you kind of, if you stay away from the big allergens, then you're less likely to you know, hurt anybody's skin. I mean, not that you ever hurt skin. Soap is a very interesting thing. I guess you can definitely, you know, hurt people. And the biggest thing in general with, you know, allergies and whatnot, it's you are not a doctor, you are a soap maker. Your opinion on the soap making and doing whatever doesn't matter. It's if they are allergic to peanut oil, you make sure not to give them peanut oil or coconut oil or anything to that. And these bars are super pretty, and I just can't stop waxing whatever about soap business. I don't know why. I'm in a weird mood today, guys. But yeah, those bars are beautiful. I love that. I don't know, is that what a peppermint patty looks like? Maybe a peppermint white Russian. Maybe that's what we should call it. I've had a peppermint white Russian. Those are delicious. And I can get behind the sort of like red coppery tones in a peppermint white Russian, because then it sort of reminds me of those like mule glasses. Are they called? I'm not hipster. I don't really know what type the glass is. I know who would know. I should text her right now. She would probably be able to answer by the end of this video. Oh, no, she can't. The end of this video is super quick. But yeah, that would remind me of that. So we're going to rename it. This is going to be a peppermint white Russian. I can totally get behind that. And the vanilla notes are still good and the peppermint still works. That's what it is. It is a peppermint white Russian, and that is delightful. And, you know, Georgia May's iteration of a delightful peppermint smelling boozy themed soap is delightful as well, and it's awesome. The kaolin clay and all of the awesomeness. And again, peppermint's the best. That is day 205, the peppermint schnapps, peppermint white Russian, peppermint PATTIE. I like saying peppermint, you guys. Soap in the boozy themed line that again has no booze because we like to keep you on your toes. Yeah, that is totally a peppermint white Russian. Changing the name, I've decided. I love peppermint white Russians actually, so that actually makes more sense for me. And then you get the copper, like hammered copper for like the thing that they serve them in. It's all very hipster and wonderful, so that's awesome. If you're interested in the peppermint white Russian, you can totally find it on the website at soapandclay.com. If you are interested in more soapy antics, subscribe to the channel. That would be cool. I would really appreciate it. That would be super awesome. And for those of you who are subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for being subscribed. I really appreciate you, as always, and I will never stop appreciating you. So again, thank you for joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.